Hey, 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 good morning, good afternoon, good evening, whenever you are, in this amazing world. So the sound's working well. Yeah, guys, so today we have a bloody day. Just T-Fuel is in green. All other arts and Bitcoins are dropping. A kind of panic. So we haven't seen a panic for a few days now. As we are coming closer and we are entering the weekend, then the panic just has been arrived. So let's check what the fear and greed index that shows to us. So let's refresh it. So we are in the extreme fear category and at 25. Yesterday that was 26. So yesterday it was just fear. Today we are in the extreme fear. So this is the borderline between the extreme fear and fear. And also we do know that in the past 1 month, the fear and greed index spent almost between 10 and 20, and in the extreme fear category. In the past few days, we have seen just some nice increase, but now we are coming back. So we have lots of news. We will see if this panic is just a temporary panic, or we have to worry because there is something happening that we don't want to make it happen. So let's start with this news that whales are buying, and this is the headline of this today news, because whales keep buying. So billionaire whales gobble up 90,000 Bitcoin over the past 25 days. Whales appear to be accumulating in anticipation of higher prices, with millionaire wallets increasing their holdings by 20,000 BTC in just 25 days. So this is 90,000 Bitcoin worth 367 billion over the past 25 days. So I think this is not a correct number, but let's assume that the 90,000 Bitcoin is a good number. So wallets holding between 100 and 10,000 BTC, described by the company as millionaire tier addresses, are now a large segment of Bitcoin hodlers and currently account for 48.7% of Bitcoin's supply. So guys, this is really huge. I even haven't supposed that this is so huge. So this data is coming from sentiment. So 90,000 Bitcoin in the last 25 days. And this is as this time. So what they are holding, it's almost, they now hold a 7-week high of 9.11 million BTC, and this is a total of almost 367 billion US dollar at this time. So this is the 48.7% of the total Bitcoin supply. So let's check this chart. This is a huge number. So almost half of the total Bitcoin supply is held by these big whales. So this is the chart. The green columns are the Bitcoin prices, and this is the whales holdings. BTC holders with 100 to 10,000 coins collectively own highest amount since April 23rd. So, and we can agree that almost around 20th of April started this huge dump and the downward trend. So then they just reduced their holdings. So they distributed their Bitcoins into the market. And now as the price dips, that it started to accumulate back. Postas. So let's check what others do we have. Okay, so Glassnode identifying that with the Bitcoin outflows from miner addresses slumped to a 5-month low of roughly 1.7 million on Wednesday. Okay, looking at the opposite end of the scale from Wales, Glassnode noted the share of supply represented by addresses holding less than 1 Bitcoin has doubled since December 2017. So Glassnode just Glassnode just did this report where you can see that the small holders accumulating Bitcoin, and we see the entities with less than 1 BTC, they are just increasing their holdings. And also we see in the past 1 year how sharply this increase just turned into. Okay, so the next piece of news, yeah, that's all. The next piece of news, Fed, the Federal Reserve, expects to keep its key rate near zero through 2023. So that was a fear that the Fed will increase the interest rates, but they just haven't changed it. So they keep the rate almost at near to zero. Okay. Fed foresees the economy accelerating quickly this year, yet still expects to keep its benchmark interest rate pinned near zero through 2023, despite concerns in financial markets about potentially higher inflation. Yeah, so also we got an inflation details last week, and the inflation in May was at 5%. It now expects the economy to expand 6.5% this year, up sharply from its previous projection in December of 4.2%. And they raised the inflation forecast to 2.4% after years of chronic low price increases. But this is not true, because in May, the inflation was at 5%. Okay. Bitcoin remained relatively resilient post-Fed as fiat currencies drop against the dollar. Bitcoin remains relatively resilient. Good news. Okay, so this is what happened after the Fed meeting, and we see that Bitcoin remains resilient, but the dollar started to weakening against other fiat currencies. Why the top cryptocurrency has dropped 5% to 38,000 since Wednesday Fed rate guidance, it remains locked in a multi-week range of 30,000 to 40,000. Okay. What's this? The cryptocurrency bull run out of steam in March and April period after the annualized growth rate of the US M2 money supply peaked at 21.7 in February. The data showed Bitcoin was likely to first to take the hit on fears that the Fed would wind down its bond buying program sooner than expected. So that what is about that, as the Fed printed more money, the M2 money supply just increased. There was a quantitative easing, and they are just arguing that that is why the Bitcoin price just increased. Bitcoin's resilience could turn out to be short-lived. In the US economy, data continue to paint a positive picture for the economy, amplifying expectation that the Fed will tighten its monetary policy. So I think it's not a problem, because if stock market will perform well, then also Bitcoin can continue its growth. The next piece of news, Grayscale. We know that Grayscale is the biggest investor in Bitcoin. It's a trust, and institutions and other big players are investing through Grayscale. And now Grayscale brings 13 more tokens with DeFi focus under consideration. So let's see. 1-inch Bancor Curve Polygon Matic, 0x, and what else? Yeah, basic contention token, Chainlink, Decentralized Filecoin, and LivePeer. These are the coins that they are considering also. Solana, Kava, Kyber, Loopring, Curve, Near. Yeah, sounds good. So you can speculate if these coins will be listed on Coinbase. Panic in crypto markets mostly over, according to Pantera Capital's Dan Moorhead. Here is why. So that was the news a few days ago, but I think it's quite important because the panic is back, is back again. So he's explaining that there were three causes of the panic: the China FUD, the China crackdown on digital assets, the Elon Musk FUD, and the tax day in the US. So these three different events caused this panic. So the Bitcoin market hit a local low near 30,000 2 days after the tax day, and only 9 days of the historical average at within the period. That makes intuitive sense. Now, here are the most important things to come. Bitcoin is currently trading 36% below its 11-year exponential trend. Bitcoin has only spent 20% of its history as far under trend valuation. So these are the peaks. And the recent peaks, it went just a touch over the trend value. As you see, past peaks were many multiples of trend value. So here are the past peaks. You can see here, this is the recent peak. And now we are under 36% under the 11-year trend line. And this is another interesting chart. The year-on-year return never went literally off the chart like in past peaks. It's currently trading at 2,081% year-on-year, which seems entirely plausible given the money printing that has occurred in that period. So we see that how huge peaks we witnessed in this bull runs, and now the Bitcoin price is in the year-to-year return is really low, just 281%. But I think this is more important because definitely the Bitcoin price will just starting and going closer to zero, and after that in the positive territory. Okay, the next piece of news. Bitcoin accepting countries after El Salvador, Paraguay, official plans to legislate Bitcoin next month. Carlitos Antonio Reyela-Hellman says that Paraguay will create Bitcoin legislation in July. Okay. He previously hinted at this in June when he suggested a project involving Bitcoin and PayPal. So there is something with Bitcoin and PayPal. Paraguay's top entertainment companies, Grupo Cinco, is also planning to accept Bitcoin and other cryptocurrencies. Okay, so we are really just keen what will be this new legislation suggestions and how it will be voted. Okay. The next piece of news. Okay, Mark Cuban calls for stablecoin regulation in wake of Iron Finance bank run. So guys, let's check these two news together, and I will add my opinion. After a bank run on the Iron Finance protocol cost him dearly, Mark Cuban is calling for regulation to define what stablecoin is and what collateralization is acceptable. Okay. So there was what he dubbed as a rug pull on the Iron Finance protocol. And so Cuban blamed himself for being lazy and not doing enough research, but also raised questions surrounding the regulation of stablecoins. So in Iron Finance, there was a Titan token, the native token of the Iron Finance ecosystem, and there was an Iron stablecoin that was pegged somehow to US dollar, but not totally collateralized, as far as I know. There should be regulation to define what a stablecoin is and what the collateralization is acceptable. Should we require $1 US in US currency for every dollar, or define acceptable collateralization options like US treasuries? Okay, so even though I got rugged on this, it's really on me for being lazy. The thing about DeFi plays like this is that it's all about revenue and math, and was too lazy to do the math to determine what the key metrics were. So what happened here that is a kind of yield farm where they locked liquidity in different pairs, and also in USDC and Titan stablecoin or Iron stablecoin pairs. There was a huge APR, and also in other Titan pairs there was a huge APR. So they locked billions, I suppose billions dollars in these pools, and then a kind of bank run happened. And also they are blaming that the smart contracts were not so well programmed, because this bank run could happen. So what's happened? Somebody started to use this, that soaking out the liquidity from the pools, and then after that users started to bank run this. Mark Cuban just took back his one part of his liquidity, so he didn't lose all his funds, but most of other liquidity providers and farmers lost over almost everything. Not doing your own research and YOLOing into a terrible investment because your time was worth more than your money is your problem. So this is some reply maybe from Kraken. Yeah, from Kraken CEO. Yeah, really sharp. Okay, so there was a fractional reserve issues with this. And this is the Titan native token of the platform. So from 60%, it dropped within 1 day to 0. And it started to increase, let's say, in 2 weeks, it just went from 0 to 60. So this is really insane. So if you see something increasing as it increased almost 60 times, then you should also be aware that what's this. And yeah. And what's happening here, I think that as these celebrities just entering this space and they are investing in something, and they are, after that they invested, they are starting to hyping up the projects, and other investors coming, and also they are just taking some profits. And I think this is also happened in this case. Markup and calls for DeFi regulation after crypto investments goes to 0. Yeah, so the same article. But not DeFi should be the problem here. The problem should be that when people not doing their research, and most of the Ethereum-based DeFi and other well-known protocols like Aave, MakerDAO, Synthetics, Compound, and other like Pancake and other DeFi platforms are really audited, and there are no rug pulls or such an event that investors and liquidity providers can go bankrupt in a day. Last week, Caben wrote a nearly 3,000-word blog post about his involvement with Titan and Iron Finance, titled "The Brilliance of Yield Farming, Liquidity Providing, and Valuing Crypto Projects." So this is how he hyped up this project. Okay, guys, so you should be careful, and yeah, so be careful with this platform. Choose lower APR and not just go all in with all your holdings in one DeFi platform, because also some exploits and hacks can happen, and also sometimes the teams rug pulling. Yeah. The next piece of news from Facebook. Nice. We have a news from Facebook. Coin Deem offering pre-sale discount for early investors. So Deem just is just going for so long that we are waiting for Deem to be launched. So it started in Switzerland, in Geneva, and after that they moved back to US, and now they are coming closer to launch Deem. So they announced the pre-sale discount on its token for early investors. You can participate in the burst of Deem and be one of the first buyers. Buy Deem coins now with cryptocurrencies like Bitcoin, Ethereum, Bitcoin Cash. So it's really funny. Even Facebook asking your Bitcoin and Facebook wanting your Bitcoin. So they are not saying that you can purchase Deem with your credit card or with your debit card or with your Apple Pay or whatever, or Alipay, but you can buy Deem with crypto. So it's really funny. Okay, so they have since been scaled back significantly. Nice. Facebook, who raised objection? Facebook less than stellar data privacy track record. This pre-sale indicates the project is close to launching, but considering Facebook's reputation, is deemed doomed to fail before it even starts. So I don't think so. Let's just see what will happen. But the funny thing that even crypto projects cannot advertise on Facebook. I saw an ad about the Deem Facebook coin. Some scam projects advertise that buy this shit. Okay, so according to the white paper, our objective is for the Libra payment system to integrate smoothly with local monetary and macroprudential policies and complement existing currencies by enabling new functionality, drastically reducing cost and fostering financial inclusion. So announcements were coming. Members are Anchorage, Andreessen Horowitz, Coinbase, Lyft, Shopify, Spotify, and Uber, so they can purchase in pre-sale, so not you or not the average Joe. And here is the team website. Welcome to team. To build a trusted and innovative financial network that empowers people and businesses around the world. Nice. Unbanked people, deep payment, mobile, stable, fast, for the world, scalable, secure. Okay, yeah, so we are just waiting and let's start to interact with them. Scammers, next piece of news, scammers are now sending Ledger users fake hardware wallets. So maybe you remember that in 2020, there was a data breach that exposed almost 300,000 customer addresses, email addresses, phone numbers, and local addresses. And now they starting time to time different scam activities to steal clients' crypto funds. So scammers are sending fake hardware wallets as a gift to people whose data was gathered via a third-party data breach. These fake wallets contain hardware designed to steal the user's crypto. So what's happening? You haven't ordered any ledger. You not ordered any, but you just got from a ledger that this is a gift that we are sending to you, and there is an instruction that just type your seed phrase in this gift scam hardware wallet, ledger wallet, and then as you are just putting your seed phrases in this scam ledger, then they are stealing your funds. So be very careful. If you got any ledger that you did not order, then just throw it out in the trash. Okay. So the next piece of news. Miami's mayor looks to woo Chinese Bitcoin miners with low energy prices and clean nuclear power. So we already know that Texas is working on to invite miners from China to move to Texas, but now also we see Miami's majors. Miami is working to lower the cost of electricity in order to entice Bitcoin miners to make the move to Florida, because Miami has a program to become a blockchain hub and incentivizing everything around blockchain and in crypto. Suarez is looking to repatriate Chinese mining diaspora by promoting the city's essentially unlimited supply of cheap nuclear energy. Sounds good. Sounds good. Rolling out the red carpet to miners to move to US from China. Yeah, I think we will see more and more Chinese miners moving to US and also other regions, and we'll see, because this is really good for distributing more healthier the Bitcoin mining hash rate. Okay, the next piece of news. Government parties U-turn, House Republicans begin accepting cryptocurrency donations. So what a surprise. The GOP will accept crypto contributions through BitPay, allowing them